Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to Pine Pass in Cities Skylines, where today we are going to be building a fairly substantial area with both single and multifamily homes, as well as some office and commercial uses in the bulk of this area right here. Maybe over here. I'm thinking about maybe bringing this across the highway right here to get us some access. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. This area, however, is being developed as a concession of sorts. There is a developer, an industrial developer, who has tried to keep their name out of things as much as possible. But it's now come to light as the mining industry is now getting very serious about beginning operations right over there. Exactly who is behind all of this? And you already remember from the Great Tsunami in what was it called? Westwood. I went blank there for a moment, sorry. But the Great Tsunami in Westwood, one of our survivors that was complaining about having a wetbed was Elizabeth Harris. Elizabeth, not with a Z, with an S. She's very adamant that you know that. And at the time, it seemed like Elizabeth was just a survivor. We didn't know a lot about her back then. I don't really like that road there. We didn't know a whole lot about her at the time. There was a lot going on with many disasters happening in the area. So we didn't get an opportunity to really get to know Elizabeth all that well. It has come to light as she has begun working on some of her own endeavors that she was not just a mere resident of the area. She was actually one of the people interested in developing in Westwood. In fact, she had her eye on a shorefront area, and grading had already taken place, and she was going to kind of create a tourist destination that was kind of modeled in turn of the century seaside resort style architecture. And that was what she was going for. Unfortunately, she never was able to proceed with those plans. And if you watched the Westwood series, you are well aware of why. But she's back. Not only has she picked up the pieces of her life that were left just in shambles, let's admit it, just absolutely in shambles from surviving the tsunami, but we've learned a little bit more about Elizabeth. First of all, she's quite an accomplished individual. She has a master's degree, a master's in law, an LLM, I believe it's called, in real estate property and development. So it was no accident that she was in Westwood, that she recognized the potential that was in that area and was looking to invest. And you may be wondering, well, that's all well and good, but how is she going to afford it? Well, obviously she could afford to go to law school, so there had to be some kind of money there. And it turns out, indeed, there is. Elizabeth, you see, she is an heiress to a very old mining conglomerate known as Prime Ore. Prime Ore was founded way back in the early 19th century. I believe it was 1830s. And quickly became a leading mining and just major player in the mining space in that era. Unfortunately, the company had a legacy of numerous workplace deaths. Safety was like a lot of mining operations at the time, just simply not a concern. And because of that, a lot of people lost their lives. A lot of people were injured. And, generally not good things happening. As time progressed, the company didn't really keep up with the times, and I don't like how this is turning out. Let's get rid of this. The company didn't really keep up. It was founded by the son of first-generation British immigrants, a man named William Prime. And he just wasn't the most ethical person when it came to making sure everything was kept safe, that everything was done in the way that would protect workers. And as a result, that is the company's legacy, is a lot of accidents, and it's tragic. As time moved on, and certain mines would become abandoned, there also became a rather large environmental issue. The abandoned mines were leaching toxic chemicals into the topsoil, into groundwater, and it was generally due to pretty significant mismanagement. Of course, by now, William Prime was long dead and gone, but it was a privately held company by the family the entire time, and, well, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, unfortunately. In the 80s, the company was pretty much on the brink of bankruptcy, as they were beginning to lose basically court case after court case, and were held liable for the cleanup of several of their abandoned mines, as well as lawsuits stemming from the ongoing health issues that were affecting the citizens in the areas where those mines had been located. That left them in the 80s nearly bankrupt. They were on the verge of being no more. That's going to make a really long block right there. However, just before the company folded, the owner of the world's second largest mining operation, a man, I don't know if we know his name. No, we do. Bram Deal, D-Y-A-L. He swooped in to offer basically salvation by merging the two companies. He had previously held the largest mining operation in Europe, headquartered in Scotland, and was looking to expand internationally, and this was his opportunity. He had the capital, he was able to do it, and so the two companies merged, leaving Bram and the owners of Primor as co-owners of the new Primor Deal Mining Company. That's right, Primordial Mining. I can't help it. You knew I was going somewhere with that whole thing, didn't you? And that is what is going to go all in this area right up here. It's not the Hamilton complex. This is prime or deal mining. Yes, that is what's going to wind up there. It's kind of hard to see. Let's bring that back up. Prime or deal mining. So yeah, that's what's going on. However, the story does not end there. Also, I'm lost. There we go. I found my way back home. Not sure I like how this area is turning out down here. We may just call a big mulligan on this. City has the money. We can afford it, and it's a video game. About 5 years after the merger of Primor and Deal Mining, old Brahm mysteriously vanished and was fairly quickly presumed deceased. And in the fallout from that, the Elizabeth Harris, the heiress to the company, her father, Logan, swooped in and began quietly buying out all the remaining interests that Mr. Deal had in their shared endeavor to become eventually the single largest stakeholder in now the world's biggest mining operation. This just is not turning out the way I wanted to. We're gonna get rid of all this news parallel road. I just don't like it. No, I don't like it at all. I'm busy telling a story and not focusing enough on my roads, so I'm getting distracted. So yeah, that is where things, wound up in the late 90s. Elizabeth inherited the company shortly before the tragic tsunami in Westwood. And of course, she was already becoming a developer in her own right, or was working on becoming a developer in her own right. And even though her dreams of doing so in Westwood weren't realized, she's now here in Pine Pass with not only her sights set on continuing just general real estate development, but now she finds herself at the helm of a rather large international conglomerate, and her goal is to try to redeem her family's legacy of unsafe working conditions, of environmental disasters, and even the intrigue, that surrounds the disappearance of the man that was responsible for saving her family's empire. She wants to try to redeem all that and become a responsible developer and become someone who is not only moving into a community to take advantage of industrial concerns, but also to, what is that? How many feet? How many meters is that? Like 100 meters? Yeah, length to top right. Close to 100 meters. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. But she wants to redeem all that. And she wants to be a responsible developer and a responsible conglomerate owner. And be an integral part in the communities where her company is. However, when she petitioned the county to begin expanding ore operations just outside of Pine Pass, the local residents were not too happy. They knew of the company's history of environmental problems, the health problems, of how just general crappy they were everywhere they went. And there was a great deal of pushback trying to prevent her from being able to do any type of development in this area whatsoever. And what we're doing right now, this neighborhood is kind of her concession. She offered to develop an area of land that she had purchased, beautiful shorefront property that originally she had designed or had designs on bringing in tourist destinations that could take advantage of the river, of the lakefront access, and good access to both highway and rail. Which, could have been incredibly lucrative for her. However, she's making concessions. She wants to show the area that she's not interested in maintaining her family's legacy. So, instead she's using this land to develop some actual good uses for the area. And why does this not want to find that node right there? Let's bring that out a little bit. Maybe now it will. And so that's where we are today. I know, it's a huge backstory for one neighborhood, isn't it? But it also gives us the backstory of who our mysterious developer was that was partnering with Sterling Davies and the state and the county to get significant highway development done in the area. That's it. It was her. She is the one. But we can understand why she kind of wanted to keep it quiet. She knew of her family's legacy and didn't want that to become the roadblock that would, essentially bring all of that benefited not only the state and the county, but Sterling Davies and the city. She knew that her name carried a lot of weight with it. And so she wanted to kind of keep that quiet. But it's now out in the open, and she is doing good work, even if I'm not, of creating a much-needed neighborhood that is green. Is that how he does it? South City Planner Place gives us pink skies. I have no idea. But everybody's just like, Jesus, Brandon, stay on focus here. I'm trying, okay? I'm trying. I really am, but I'm distracted. I had a lot of fun writing this story, too, by the way. At least the notes for it, the backstory. But yeah, that's where we are with this neighborhood now. And it's only taken me, like 20 minutes to explain all that. But it's been a lot of fun, and it's going to give us, more to draw on as we go through Pine Pass and continue developing. Why is there no... Oh, it's because I used the parallel road tool. I think I can fix that with this. Yeah. You don't have to go through and upgrade the roads. You can just use the zoning adjuster and put it back in. Should be fine all the way back there. It is. Those might not be... I don't think some of that is at elevation. So what we're going to do is grab our marquee tool and just swoop through here. I think some of these roads wound up a little bit above the surrounding train height. And we're just going to go boop and lag a little bit. And that should have taken care of it. Yeah, it looks a lot better. But I think it's a cool story. I think it's a nice redemption story that she's wanting to not only turn her own personal tragedy into good for a growing region, but that she's wanting to redeem her family's business legacy. Also, all good things are happening here, and it's pretty incredible, and I'm pretty excited to be able to continue expanding upon that and looking to see what else we can do with it. And I would love for you to be a part of that process. Introduce characters, introduce plot lines, jump down into the comments. And that's never going to work. And let's have fun with it together. It's not my story. It could be your story too, and you can definitely help shape it. And I would love to hear some of your thoughts as we develop this wintry map that I had only planned on doing for like 3 months, but I think we're going to be sticking with it maybe into summer. It's still a, it's a small area. We don't have a whole lot of area that we can develop. So this isn't going to be a 2 or 3 year series. This is going to be done this year, and then we'll start a new town. What's happening over here, friends? Hey, stop it. Just go. What? Oh, odd. All right, let's see. Sometimes this helps them. Maybe just give them one of those. But no, it's something right there that is causing issue. Is that causing your problem? Nope. Is there like a node hidden right there? No, there's one there, and that's fine. That's... what is going on? Wow, what is happening there? Why is... That's starting to cause a significant problem. What? Why are you stopping? This is bonkers. So we're definitely good here. And the next node is not until there. Oh, wait, maybe it's that. Okay. Yeah, it was that. I was seeing that down there. Okay, it's fixed. For whatever reason, this whole long segment, they were pausing. Anyways, I'd love to know your thoughts on the backstory that I've come up with. It's a product of my own imagination, some things I found on some actual historical mining companies online, and my desire to name it primordial mining. Just because I'm goofy like that. I'm a nerd. And I thought it would be funny to give it that name. And I hope you enjoy the humor in the name as well. Let's bring this over 600 more and bring that down and that down, and make a little curve right here. Just kind of want to get a slightly curved area in here just to kind of take advantage of some of this. This isn't going to be pretty no matter what I do here, is it? So let's bring this up a little bit more and then do that. That's fine. That works. Yeah, that'll work. And then we want to connect down here and maybe back this off just a little bit. I'm not married to any of these corners that we're putting, so we're going to have to bring this over some. Just a wee bit. And then use the curve road tool and bring that up. I would like to get a connection in here, but where do we want to do that from? Maybe like here? That could work. We could bring a connection down like this as well, just to keep connectivity strong. And then for now, we are going to go ahead and connect to over there, and then we're going to bring this down and connect as well. So I'm going to bring this up and then make a curve right here. Like I said, we may wind up redoing some of this down here to bridge over to that land, or maybe we'll bridge off of something else over here off of this little road. I don't know. I think there's potential to go over there because that's pretty flat. At least it's as flat as what I'm working on here. I intentionally didn't grade this off significantly. I kind of like having a bit of imperfection in the land. We're going to have to bring water pipes down this road too, so we're going to have some redundancies here. It's all right. So if I bring that up this way, it would be here that I would want these to be connected though. So yeah, we're definitely going to have a lot of redundancies here. So be it. And I totally forgot what I was saying before that, so yeah. What is it my mom always said? If you forgot, it must not be important. That used to infuriate me. I'm like, but it was. That's because my brain didn't properly function at the moment. Doesn't mean it wasn't important. Don't tell me it's not important, Mom. I love my mom. I adore her woman, actually. I have no problem admitting that I am a mama's boy. Through and through. And we will drop down into there, then over to here, and actually we need to go like here. I don't like that we've got so many just stubs. And we could connect them, but where? Like, that would be going under. I mean, we could bring it up over to here and underneath the road, but that's, I don't know. I don't see that that's all that necessary. So we will follow this road along here, get all of these heating / water pipes in, and then we'll start doing some city services and some zoning. That's got all of our water pipes in. We can now look at services. We have a bit of healthcare over here. However, we are near... Actually, that's not healthcare. That's just a sauna and a gym. I remember now. There is no actual healthcare over here. We are near a major highway connection, so I'm thinking this might be a good opportunity to have our first hospital. This is going to be higher density over this way anyway, so why not get us a hospital in here and go ahead and increase that. You know, I think someone with the resources of Elizabeth Harris could, I think I said Holmes at one point during my story. Yeah, not her, we're not taking blood from anybody. Different type of iron. I'm really excited to build this area, though. I've got some really fun plans for it. Something that I've done in a lot of my live stream cities with mining that I think is a cool way to set it up and take advantage of terrain in a unique way. And I know that doesn't even sound like much to just describe it like that, but if you've been there for some of the live streams, you probably know what it is I'm on about already. I don't know if I want to go through and have alleys and all of these. So, you know, as add them later. Maybe I will go ahead and throw them in now just to have them. I don't know. I think that's something that I can do off camera because I'm not going to do fences or anything since that side's going to be all high density. I think we can just leave it alone. So we've got our healthcare in. We probably ought to look at childcare because our only childcare is, well, we have two. One there, one there. The city's doing all right financially. We could get one that covers almost this entire area if we go right in here. And that's going to be adjacent to some commercial, so I think that would be a good location for it. And then for our elder care, I think we can go right across the street. And I think that'll be fine. So let's look at our education. Again, this isn't about capacity. This is about proximity. So yeah, we're way overbuilt on education. And we kind of need to be. I don't know. What do you guys think about, you know, in this situation when there's plenty there? I've never really experimented enough in City Skylines to know, will they travel halfway across the town to go to school or not? I have no clue. I truly do not know. If you do know, please share that information in the comments down below. We're going to let that be a high school curling team. That should be enough education for over here. It's a bit far, but we're also going to do our first bit of mass transit over here. In fact, I want to go ahead and get that constructed as well. But I'm not 100% sure where I want to put it. Let me look here real quick. You know, I think the best place for it is going to be right next to that hospital. I want to use the compact bus station and actually have a transfer there. And what we'll do is we will run, actually, man, I could even go with maybe the inner city bus station. It would fit. or we could get tourists coming in as well. Not that there's a whole lot here, but it could be the start of our tourists. No, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep this in our transit hub. And we'll do something else different with this. But this can serve as a hub that can do a couple routes. One that goes over here, makes one stop, and then comes back. And then maybe one that comes to this area and comes back, and then goes over here by the school and comes back. And then also have it be the point of transfer for a route that circulates through this area. And then we can set up individual lines in these areas, and even over here in the Hillside Park area. Which, by the way, it went to level 5. I don't think we ever... I get distracted so easy. You'll just have to excuse me. I don't think we ever put in our trampoline parks. No, we didn't. So I want to get a trampoline park in here somewhere. Maybe. There you go, trampoline park. And then 1 or 2 of those over here as well. Thank you for jumping around like that, game. That was very kind of you. It's just not going to fit in most of these areas, so that's unfortunate. What we'll do is drop one in there, and then we'll come across the street. I know that it's right up against the road for a playground, though. Ooh, and that's a busy, busy road. I really don't want to do that. Because we've got this one over here. But I really want some playground facilities in this area. So we don't really have the best park coverage back there. And everybody deserves a neighborhood park. Speaking of, we're going to do a couple of parks over here. Maybe just one, actually. Right in this area. We're just going to throw in a park, and then it's going to continue in back behind there. And just all the way over here as well. Why not? We'll have just multiple areas. It'll all be considered one park, even though it's not going to be all connected by a big long pathway system. So I think that might be silly. Okay, why are the trucks and cars stopping on the highway again? What are you guys doing? They're like, what? We're not doing anything. As soon as I come over here to look at it and see what the problem is, this is still moving way slower. Oh, you know why this is moving slower? That's not a highway piece, is it? Nope. There's our problem. So our ramps are 50 and 35, but I think that's a road piece as well. I'm just going to go ahead and bump this up to 50 right here. All of this, in fact, I think maybe slow down for the curve, but I think all that can be 50 reasonably, and then speed up to 60 or slow down from 60. Yeah, that might help us some. In fact, that's a gentle enough curve right there that that can be a 50-mile-an-hour curve, no problem. This, though, this is definitely a little too fast for 50. Yeah, it's looking better. Cool. Where were we? Oh, yeah, parks and city services and things like that. So we got through schools. We need to look at our fire coverage, and again, we're getting into some higher density areas here. So I think it would be appropriate to begin using some higher density city services. Can't wait to get banks. I wish they were just available without building the stock exchange. I really do. So I don't know that I want a stock exchange. But we could play the stock exchange game. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it just real quick, off camera. I'm going to play the stock exchange game once I remember where it is. And maybe make a little bit of money for the city while we're at it. Cool. I did it. I went through and just bought and sold shares of old Sherwin Davies forestry industry for a while after, oh wait, before I forget, we gotta step back. I like to leave it on 101 so I get one extra truck per delivery area. Kind of cheesing the game a little bit, but hey, one truck's one truck, man. We need post office right there, get some good coverage. So that should have city services pretty good to go. Just to remind myself that I want to build a park over here, I'm going to throw in a gate. We'll put it right there, and that's good enough. And that becomes Butler Meadows. No. And this isn't Victoria Park. This is Parish Shores. And this will be named after Ooh, a little controversial. The founder of Primor, Williams Park. There we go. Just named it after great, however many greats, grandpappy. So let's get some zoning in here and get this show on the road, because we do have, well, we did have some unemployment. The city population has dropped, so that will rebound. Let's be sure that we have the right button pushed, and that I have indeed done a high-rise ban. I have. So I believe we are ready to get this going here. I want a little bit next to the hospital and in behind that bus terminal. Not a lot, just some. And then we're going to come in through along the collector and go pretty hard on the commercial here. The other side, maybe not as much, and we are going to mix in some low density as well. Some of it will be over here on this side. The game's just being all jumpy. Some of it will be over here, and our zoning is all kinds of wonky here, but I think that gets it. So go in here and get ourselves a little bit of commercial, and then down here as well. We'll get some in, just, so we have it. And I'm going to go ahead and go through here, even though I know I'm going to wind up with eminent domain with a path through there. Oh well. And then down here, I want this whole block, but then I want to do just offices back here. And then I'm just going to grab our fill tool and do offices in through there. Big office block right there. And then a smaller office block. Why is that going at that angle? What are you even attaching to? Smaller block right there, and that's probably going to shoot up our demand for residential, and it has. So we are going to pause for just a second so that I can do that, but then come in where the path is going to go and erase it. That just makes it a lot quicker. And then back here, we'll do some more residential. Oh, not in the park. Nope, not in the park. We'll do some more residential there, and we'll do a little bit more back here, but I'm going to leave some of this unzoned for now, just to see how it kind of plays out. Plus, I don't want to get too terribly close to the highway with our residential right now. We'll do low density to this side, but I want to see what our employment needs look like after this grows in. So let's speed up time and watch this area fill in and probably get a lot of traffic here as that happens. And look at that, we've encountered some issues. I kind of figured we would. We knew last time that we were going to start getting close on our water and our heating, and we've gotten there. It has happened. So we need to think about upgrading. The town is going to decommission one of its older water towers in favor of a newer one. That, because of the way the water pipe being there, made that do a weird thing. Actually, I'm just going to do that to train height. There we go. And we'll decommission one of these older water towers. I mean, it's what, 25 years old by now? How long does a water tower last? I have no idea. But that one didn't last long. And then, we're kind of out of space for a lot of stuff over here in this area. We really need another recycling center or two. We're not quite yet to 18,000 to start thinking about that. So maybe we have to get one there. That's not going to leave us any space for any wastewater management. I wonder. Man, this has really been set aside for the state. I don't think they would be happy if the city then said, hey, by the way, can we throw some wastewater treatment in here? But I don't know that we really have a good alternative. Well, we could go here, but this is where I want to do more heating. I want to get like 1 or 2 more of these, and that one's not quite where it needs to be. I'm trying to get them right across from each other, and this one's over. 1 too many. And we're just going to move it because, again, it's a video game. Oh, don't go try to connect down there. What are you doing? Let's see what that does for us. That gets us up to 240. I'm going to go ahead and... The city budget's doing fine. If it'll let me, yeah, it'll let me get another one in there. And that should hold us over for quite some time. Why did the heating production go down? Ah, because sewage. Yeah, we don't get that till 28. I don't know that we have any other choice but to start a new facility kind of here. Let's at least try to keep it back off that road a little bit. That's not what I wanted to click. I'll do it right here. I'll turn all these back on and go out like 3 here, and then we'll eventually make a connection down there somewhere. And then see about getting just a bit more wastewater processing in here. And I believe they have to have heated pipes. If they do, I can see them asking for it already. And let's see, what does that do for us? Perfect. And that should bring everything online, so that also brings our heating online. And wow, we way overbuilt. But that's okay. City can afford it. We've got plenty of money in the bank. We do have some properties that went abandoned as that was happening. But what we can do is take a look. Unemployment still steady at 5%. However, very few of these buildings are upgraded. And it's education that is our major sticking point. I was really hoping that we would get this up to 1,200 so that we could at least maintain, and if not, do even more. We did get rid of academic works. We're not pumping any money into that. I mean, we're making money off of our university, trade school, but not a lot. And it looks like we're going to lose. Oh, hello, Grand City. Cool. So next time around, we can start thinking about better waste processing and all of that. But I think we've made good progress for now. I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments, what you think about these longer videos that I've been doing. Whether or not you like it when I keep it closer to 30 minutes, or if you're okay with them hitting sometimes 45 minutes, 50 minutes. And based on your feedback, well, I will adjust accordingly. But I think we've done good progress. We are going to do single family homes down over this way. In between videos, I will get all these walking paths in, and we're looking pretty good. That added 3,000 people, 3,200, and almost 2,000 jobs. So a pretty good mix that we have there. I think it all looks really, really good. So we're going to leave it there. And until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.